There's nothing for her to be spiteful about because she caused the version of him and she's continuing to cause the version of him that's showing up by not understanding he's not separate from her and she can operate him like a puppet. All right, guys, let me get into the Loz lesson about creating the ideal version of your specific person and sometimes when you level up in your self-concept, how you see them differently. And what do you do about that? Now, there's a lot of different ways you can deal with that. And in this lesson, I'll get into it. But before that, I want to mention that while I was doing They Are Your Puppet inside the squad, my course right now, I had quite a few people asking me if I could extend it, that the lessons were so important that they wanted more and they didn't want it to end at the end of October. So we have decided to extend They Are Your Puppet to the end of November. So if you want to understand how to create the ideal version of your specific person or anybody else, come and join us in the squad right now. And They Are Your Puppet is extended till the end of November. Woo woo! 8 parts. You'll get 8 lessons and videos, task workbooks and videos for They Are Your Puppet right now. So come and join us in the squad. Part 1, 2, and 3 are already out. Part 4 drops on Monday. Woo! What's this, Kayla? So Kayla just announced that she got engaged. Let me read it. Thank you, Loz. My SP and I are engaged. Oh, wonderful. And I asked her, what did she do? And she said, realized he is not separate from me. No 3D checking, only living in my mind. 100% changed the story. Oh, Kayla. Oh, congratulations, darling. You did that. Now, see how this works? What did she say she did? Listen to what she said. Realized he's not separate from me. No 3D checking, only living in my mind. 100% changed the story. Now, this is what this Loz lesson is going to be about. Let me read the question. When you finally have a high self-concept, knowing your value and worth, I don't really teach knowing your value and worth, but anyway, you've been listening to Kim Velez or some bullshit. But anyway, I don't really teach that, but we'll get into that because this girl sounds confused. And now see SP differently, but you still want to manifest the ideal version of them. How do you not be in a place of too good for them or be in spite? Okay, this girl isn't getting it just purely from her question. She thinks she is, but she isn't. Hope that made sense. No, it doesn't. I'm assuming it's because I still don't believe I'm in the state of having my desire with him. No shit. And viewing him as the old, unideal version. Yes. Okay. So what's wrong with this question? So what did Kayla just say that she did to manifest her engagement? She realized he's not separate from her. Okay, this girl is not realizing that. What in this question implies she doesn't get that? Well, if you think spitefully about them, if you be in spite, as she said, she's still blaming him and thinking it was his decision, whatever he did, or the way he's showing up is in his control. She's not understanding he's not separate at all. So she said, I still don't believe I'm in the state of having my desire with him and viewing him as the old, unideal version. So she's not getting at all what Kayla got, which is he is not separate from me. And 100% changing the story and understanding that he's not separate from her. So this girl doesn't understand he's not separate from her. Now, in They Are Your Puppet, I go deep into what I am means, what no separation is, and how they are your puppet. Now, guys, when you do this course, some of you might be like, you've said sometimes, oh, they're not a puppet or a toy. Guys, do the fucking course and you'll understand why I've called it They Are Your Puppet. Because some of you take things at face value and you take things so fucking literally and you'll take one thing that a manifestation coach says and you ran with it, but you didn't hear the whole lesson or you didn't do the whole course. Trust me when I say, when you do this, you'll get it. Some of you are not getting it, including this person in the squad. So let me read again what she wants to know. She thinks because she's got a high self-concept. Let me give you the tip, darling, person who asked this question. I do not teach anyone to have a, wait for it, what you wrote, high self-concept or know their value and worth. I don't teach you to know your value and worth, and I certainly don't teach you things like expressions like high self-concept. So that tells me you haven't actually done what you think you've done because I don't teach anything you've just said. Concept means idea. Self-concept means ideas of yourself, idea of yourself. So what high ideas of yourself do you now have? You must have all ideas about yourself different. They've all changed. And now they're all high, apparently. I don't teach with the word high. There's no such thing as a high self-concept, low self-concept. They are concepts. I've got a high self-concept. Okay, have you been listening to coaches who say know your value and worth? Oh, yes, I have. That doesn't make any sense. Why don't you know your value and worth? What ideas about yourself do you have that are causing you not to know your value and worth? Oh, when I was a kid, I was abused and I don't think I'm good enough and I think I'm dirty in some way and I carry around shame and I feel like I do things wrong and I always upset people easily and I feel like they won't want me and they'll choose someone else. Those ideas. Okay, so you're just walking around saying, I know my value and worth. I have a high self-concept. I am worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm valuable. Oh yeah, I'm doing that. How's that working for you? Do you still have stories that you aren't good enough and when someone finds out your past, they'll reject you? Yes. Do you still have stories that they might choose somebody else and not turn up the best version for you because you don't deserve the best version of them because you aren't good enough? Yes. Well, you haven't changed any ideas of yourself, have you? You just told yourself you're worthy and valuable and it hasn't worked. Okay? I dig so much deeper than other people, guys, okay? This ain't no cakewalk. You don't walk into my squad and start going, I've got a high self-concept. I don't know why he hasn't changed. I feel really spiteful about the fact that he hasn't changed, but don't know why he hasn't. I've changed. I've got a high self-concept. I know my value and worth. I know my value. Why doesn't he know my value? You don't know your fucking value because if you did, he'd be acting different. If you really knew how valuable you were, darling, if you really knew how worthy you were, and you really were thinking that way about yourself, he would have completely changed because he is your echo, your puppet, your hologram, not separate from you. Arrgh. Oh, but I know my value. No, you don't know your fucking value. Because if you did, he'd be valuing you the fucking literal end. So the fact that I'm still spiteful about the fact that he hasn't changed means I think he's making his own decisions to not change and making his own decisions to be different from the way I want and being the old version because I haven't changed him yet. And therefore, I don't understand that he isn't separate from me and he is literally reflecting my story I hold of him and the story I hold of myself still because I've been listening to fuckwits who teach value and worth. Yes. So what in this question makes us realize she has not got what Kayla got at the beginning of this, who's now engaged, that he is not separate from her. He is her reflection. And now CSP differently, but you still want to manifest the ideal version of them. What do you mean? You've just contradicted yourself. When you finally have a high self-concept, knowing your value and worth, and now see SP differently, but you still want to manifest the ideal version of them. How have you seen them differently if you want to manifest the ideal version? The ideal version is seeing them differently. What do you mean? What difference are you seeing? You can't be seeing them differently if they haven't changed yet. You can't be seeing them differently if you're still trying to manifest the ideal version of them, you understand? So if you're still trying to manifest an ideal version, you haven't seen them differently. If you'd seen them differently, you'd be imagining their ideal version in your mind. They might not have changed just yet, but they will. Hope that makes sense. No, it doesn't. I'm assuming it's because I still don't believe I'm in the state of having my desire with him. You haven't even worked on your self-concept properly, darling. So there's that. And viewing him as the old unideal version. Yet no shit. So you think you see him differently. You have not seen him differently in any small way. I don't know what it is you see differently about him, but you're not seeing the new version. So how do we see a new version? We will only see a new version of them when we are a new version of us. And sometimes, and this is what my course Back and Begging is about, and I'll put that here. Sometimes you cannot see a new version of them because the old version of them is so strong. So Back and Begging is all about an old specific person, getting someone back. It's the ultimate manifest them back course. And in that course, I force you to forgive them for the way they showed up because they're not separate from you. And if you can't, that's when you're going to have problems. This girl is having problems because she literally can't see him any differently. Now, you can see yourself completely differently. But if you still hold a really, 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 really strong, shitty version of them in your mind, you'll have a very hard time seeing them differently because you're still seeing them the old way. Or what happens a lot, and it's happened to me multiple times, is you'll change and then you actually no longer even want either that version or a new version. You just don't want them. You want someone else. Or someone else comes along who fits all the criteria and you're like, bye. And they're like, oh, but I'll be the ideal version. You're like, I couldn't care less now. Right? Sometimes you've got to understand, guys, the version you fell in love with is related to the old version of you. And when you level up and have a high self-concept, know your value and worth, you're not knowing your value and worth. When you change your concepts of yourself and your self-concepts change, your self-concept changes, you could say high, but it really doesn't make any sense. But if you feel better in yourself, you're thinking differently about yourself, your self-concepts have changed. You feel like you're worthy of more, you are valuable. Yes, you can say those things if that really helps you, but why did you feel unvaluable? Why didn't you feel worthy is what I teach. Then you might look at that person differently. Now, you can either see a new version of them completely, or dismiss that old version because you no longer want it because it's related to the old version of you and pick someone else. A lot of you won't want to do that, but I'm telling you right now, if you have a very, very, very hard time changing them in your mind, not changing them out here, change them in your mind, back and begging is the course that will help you, or they are your puppet right now on the squad, because some of you are still clinging to that old version of them and you think they're making their own decisions. And if you think still that they're making their own decisions, you might even see them differently in your mind, but you still think they're making the decision to stay the same like this girl is, then they are your puppet will help you, because this girl, even though she's in the squad, has probably done parts 1 and 2. She clearly hasn't done part 3 that I've just dropped. Doesn't understand he's her puppet and he's only reflecting her and there is no separation and he isn't making his own decisions to not change. There's nothing for her to be spiteful about because she caused the version of him and she's continuing to cause the version of him that's showing up by not understanding he's not separate from her and she can operate him like a puppet. She doesn't get it. And yet she's in the squad. What's the name of your Facebook, please? Guys, it's Subconscious Laws everywhere. I'm Subconscious Laws in Facebook, Subconscious Laws on Instagram, Subconscious Laws on TikTok, YouTube, everything. So come and join my free Subconscious Laws Facebook group. We have our Q&A forum, but the squad, Subconscious Laws Squad, you come and pay for your membership at my website link here or in my link tree. It's $50 a month or $35 if you join yearly a month. And you come and get the courses that we drop, and this month's and next month's extended course is They Are Your Puppet. All right, guys? There's also help in there, everything. Happy for you, Ashley. What happened to Ashley? Wait a sec. I missed another success story. What is it? I miss being yelled at. Oh, did you, darling? Love you so much, Loz. Everyone, listen to her. Guys, we was broke up until last month. Trust me, it's possible. Oh, wonderful. That's Kayla who just got engaged. You were broken up till last month. Oh, my God. Then she realised he wasn't separate from her. Now she's engaged. Wonderful, darling. Aw. So wonderful. Where's this other success story everyone's saying congratulations and I missed it? Oh, Ashley, where is it? You need to be on TV, Loz. Oh, thank you, darling. Where's this one that I missed? God damn it. I can't see it. Don't know. Did I miss it? Happy for you, Ashley. Where? Don't know. Thank you, Loz, so much for your teaching. Very happy with my new SP going on holiday tomorrow. Oh, Ashley, lovely. I missed it. Now I see it. Oh, see? When you see them differently, they will change because you have changed them in your mind. However, if you think they're separate from you and they're not your puppet and they're not your reflection and they're not your shadow and they're not your echo and they're not a hologram of you, you will think they're making their own decisions like this girl in my squad who asked the question, and you'll think he's not showing up the version you want because he's making the decision not to. And then you're spiteful and then you're questioning what you've done wrong. What you've done wrong is thinking they're separate. What you've done wrong is not understanding they are your puppet. Come and join us in the squad if you don't understand this. I literally demonstrate with puppets to make you understand this, and now it's going to be extended to the whole of November. All right, guys, come and join me in the squad. I will see you soon. Make sure to follow me and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.